Gilead Sciences is quietly reinventing its HIV franchise, shifting from daily pills toward longer-acting therapies that could reshape both treatment and prevention for the next decade. Biktarvy holds the franchise together today as the global standard of care, while lenacapavir, branded Yeztugo, is emerging as the next-generation molecule powering both long-acting treatment and prevention. HIV therapy is moving through a dramatic shift in dosing, from daily pills to weekly to monthly, and potentially all the way to once-yearly regimens, driven by lenacapavir-based combinations like Biclen. Antiretroviral therapy has transformed HIV into a manageable condition, but with 39 million people living with the virus and over 1 million new infections every year, treatment alone simply isn't enough. PrEP uptake is growing, but it still reaches only a fraction of those who need it, particularly women, younger individuals, and underserved communities who face the greatest gaps in daily oral prevention. Long-acting injectable PrEP, given twice a year or potentially just once, has the potential to knock down adherence barriers, close access gaps, and meaningfully reduce infection rates across underserved populations. Gilead frames effective PrEP as a direct cost avoidance strategy because the lifetime expense of treating a single HIV infection is substantial, making prevention a financial imperative for payers and governments alike. Durable suppression, resistance prevention, and adherence simplicity aren't just product features. They're the unified competitive standard running through everything Gilead is building across both treatment and prevention. Before diving deeper into Gilead's strategy, it helps to understand how HIV actually works, why early infection is so often missed, and why catching it early makes such a difference. HIV follows a relentless biological chain. It enters the body, attacks CD4 immune cells, steadily erodes immune function, and without treatment can progress all the way to AIDS. Early HIV often looks like the flu, but beneath those mild symptoms, viral levels are extremely high, making transmission very likely and diagnosis easy to miss without targeted testing. When treatment drives the viral load to undetectable levels, sexual transmission is eliminated. That's the U equals U principle, and it's one of the most powerful arguments for consistent HIV therapy. Drug resistance remains one of the hardest problems in HIV care, and Gilead's current and next-generation therapies are specifically designed to raise the barrier against it. Bictegravir blocks resistance through tight, durable binding that holds even with imperfect adherence, while lenacapavir takes a different approach, targeting the viral capsid across multiple life cycle stages, avoiding cross-resistance with older drug classes entirely. Lenacapavir reaches across 3 distinct challenges at once: rescuing heavily treatment-experienced patients, reducing missed dose risk through its long-acting profile, and delivering near-complete protection in PrEP studies with just twice-yearly dosing. Now let's look at what the numbers say. Bloomberg consensus models reveal a clear revenue arc for Gilead through 2030 and beyond, and the post-2030 period is where the real investor debate begins. Consensus shows Gilead's revenues growing to a peak around 2030 to 2031, then easing as Biktarvy normalizes. Not a collapse, but a natural maturation as the drug shifts from growth engine to steady cash flow anchor. Biktarvy remains the dominant revenue driver throughout the forecast period, while Sunlenca grows steadily but falls short of filling the gap that Biktarvy's eventual decline will leave behind. Yeztugo and Biktarvy are directly linked in consensus models. As Biktarvy compresses after 2030, Yeztugo is positioned not as a bonus, but as the primary stabilizer needed to hold HIV revenues together. Gilead's portfolio now serves 2 complementary populations: people living with HIV who need lifelong viral suppression, and HIV-negative individuals who need reliable, discrete prevention. And together, they form the long-term foundation of the franchise. The key risks for investors branch from one central question: slower PrEP adoption, payer friction, challenges scaling globally, and rising competition in long-acting HIV therapies could all test how durable this reinvention really is.